welcome to the Daily Draft, where we take Magic one draft at a time. We are once more in a cube draft because, well, nobody was in the queue for the Concept Track here one. So, waiting for one more person and then we'll get started. Okie dokie here. We really don't have any power in this pack. Skullclamp's good, but I played it and it didn't overwhelm me. And by that I mean it was very underwhelming because I can words. Tamir Signet's probably just the best card in the pack, given the importance of Signet mana and how good blue is. So we're gonna go ahead and take it. Okay, so a couple of options here. There is a Primeval Titan, a True Name Nemesis, Necromancy, if I wanted to commit really hard to a strategy, plus assorted fetch lands and shock lands. Primeval Titan's pretty good. I'm going to try and take True Name Nemesis though. There's a lot of equipment in this cube, so I think taking True Name Nemesis is a pretty reasonable call. Well, there's a Swords to Plowshares here, but there's also a Simic Signet. Living Death is fairly good if you get the right build. Mystical Tutor is also pretty good. Dragonlord Silumgar is good, but I think we'd rather have a Signet or a Mystical Tutor or Swords, and I'm just going to take the Signet here. I think loading up on Signets is pretty strong. So, Elspeth is fairly good if you ramp her out early, but Muldrifter I think is just better in that you can do it more easily than Elspeth and it draws you cards. So we're gonna take it. I like playing blue cards. I'm fine picking blue cards. Endrick Stompheller is fine. Mental Misstep seems pretty good in the cube. Through the Breach is good in specific decks, aka like this Show and Tell decks. Yawgmoth's Bargain is sweet. Let's take that. There's some mana fixing, but it isn't overwhelming. Yeah, we'll take Yawgmoth's Bargain. Here, I like Sheldock Isle. I like Mana Leak. Sheldock Isle is really good. It's you can, while you look at the top 4 cards of your library, when it enters the battlefield, exile one face down under Sheldock Isle, and then you can cast it or play. So you can also use this for lands. You can play the exiled card without paying its mana cost if a library has 20 or fewer cards in it. So pretty good. I could take the Deathrite Shaman. Could also take Damnation. Wraths are decent, I guess. There's also an Arid Mesa. I'll take the Damnation. I like Damnation in a deck with like big powerful things to be doing in the later game, and I also like it in a deck with a lot of Planeswalkers. Tezzeret's just, a good card in a format where you have a lot of fast mana. Right now we can play him on turn 3, potentially. So we've gotten back Palancron, Cabal Ritual, Nissa, Flicker Wisp. We're gonna take the Cabal Ritual. I can see drafting like a Storm Upheaval deck. That'd be sweet. Necromancy versus Wooded Foothills versus Empty the Warrens. I'll take the Wooded Foothills, I think. Well, Necromancy's pretty good. Enchant creature put on the battlefield with Necromancy from a graveyard. No, I think Wooded Foothills is just better. The thing about fetch lands is that they fix your mana in two ways. One, they can fetch for either of their colors, but they can also fetch for any adjacent colors. So, like, Wooded Foothills can fetch black with a Badlands or a Blood Crypt, and it can fetch blue with, like, a tropical island or something. So, I like Wooded Foothills a lot. Taking Dragonlord Silumgar there because it is a really big format. So having a control magic on legs is pretty good. Taking Una's Prowler. Una's Prowler is a discard outlet for the Reanimator decks. I'm going to take Murderous Cut over Mental Misstep here. I think having removal available, maybe not main deck, but having removal available is nice against the creature decks. Take Smash. The red deck can't have it too easy, especially since we didn't see any of like the major red cards like Goblin Guide or Sulfuric Vortex, which means that somebody might be drafting it this time, which hasn't really happened in the queues that I've been in, which surprises me. Okay, I'll take a Time Walk, that's cool. There's also Wormcoil Engine, Opposition, Hedron Archive, Shriekmaw to a degree, Verdant Catacombs, but yeah, we're pretty easily just taking this Time Walk. Our plan really could just be like power out Tezzeret and -4 to Tendrils my opponent for the number of artifacts I control, which is his -4. Okay, interesting choice here. We've got Nicol Bolas, which is my favorite card in the cube. Consecrated Sphinx and Izzet Signet. The thing about Consecrated Sphinx is it draws you lots of cards, which is really good. The thing about Izzet Signet is it is another Signet, and it fixes for Nicol Bolas, which we're hoping to will. Because I don't think I can justify second picking Nicol Bolas over an Izzet Signet or a Consecrated Sphinx. I think I just take the Izzet Signet here. I think having Signets is more important than the Consecrated Sphinx. Let's see. I could take Duress here. I could also take Lotus Bloom, but that doesn't seem very good. There's another Signet, which I could, admittedly, just easily take. There's also a Mere Battlesphere, which I think actually might be the pick here, because it's a fine Tinker target that you can also cast fairly from time to time, and it's really good with Tezzeret Agent of Bolas. So, yeah, I think we take that. So, I could consider taking Sphinx of the Steelwind. Flying First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, Pro Red, Pro Green is pretty good. There's also a Blood Crypt, which I can get with my Wooded Foothills. There's the Sulfuric Vortex that we were talking about. There's a Trinket Mage here. So I think it's between Sphinx of the Steelwind, which is going into Esper, because I don't think, unless we get past a really late Tinker, we're not going to be able to cast it. There's also Blood Crypt, which would allow us to play the Nicol Bolas that we passed a little bit more easily. I think we take Blood Crypt. I like Nicol Bolas a lot. So between Temple of Epiphany and Thoughtseize, and let's see, Memory Jar is a good one. Anticipate's fine. I think I just take Thoughtseize here. There's a Flametongue Kavu, which is a little fair. I think I just take the Frantic Search. There's also a Maze, though. I could take Maze. Nah, Frantic Search. Free Careful Consideration? Is that what that one is? So I could take Sundering Titan, which is, again, really good if you ramp him out. Baleful Strix is a decent 2-drop. Brainstorm is pretty good in Eternal formats, anyway. Augur of Bolus finds some things, not a great deal. I think we take Sunders here. Big Sundering Titan. Toxic Deluge is another Wrath, but I think Duplicant will do better. Duplicant, for those of you who don't know, is a 2/4 for 6 that when it enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-token creature that's on the battlefield. And for as long as it remains exiled, or as long as the card exiled with Duplicant is a creature, rather, it has the power, toughness, and creature types of the creature. So opposition wield, but we're not really an opposition deck. We're not really well set up to take advantage of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and take Hedron Archive. Because we have all these, like, big stuffs. Right, we wield Dark Confidant, Incinerate, and Emrakul, but not Nicol Bolas. I'm kind of heartbroken. We'll be fine taking Duress here. I'm so sad. Huh, maybe nobody's playing red. Yeah, I'll put that on my sideboard. And Turnabout goes to the board. Tombstalker might actually be played in our deck, depending on how light we are on threats. I mean, we have a Moldrifter and a True Name Nemesis. What more do you really need? Okay, I'll take a Soul Ring. There's also, oh man, there's an Upheaval. Wheel, come on, Wheel. There's also a Coalition Relic and Riftwing Cloudsgate, and a Show and Tell if we wanted to play Emrakul, but we don't really have the deck manipulation that would be required to play it. So yeah, we're just gonna take Soul Ring here. Ugin? Yeah, I like Ugin. Get out of here. Ugin's pretty sweet, especially with all the ramp that we have going on. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, come on. Tolarian Academy. Let's see. I could take Diabolic Edict, top. I could take Balance. I think Balance would be a pretty good one, just because, like, if I get the mana fixing for it, like, we do have a bunch of artifact mana, and I think it's a reasonable play from the sideboard, too. So, just gonna go ahead and take Counterspell. I like Counterspell. It's a oldie but a goodie. Do I want to play Bargain in this deck? I'm not quite sure. Do I want to play Frantic Search in this deck? Also not quite sure. I would like some sort of card selection. Frantic Search is a little awkward with like Soul Ring and the Signets because you can't untap Signets with it. So if I played it on turn like 2, it wouldn't do me. Oh, it would be fine. Alright, so we've got Dig Through Time here, Golgari Signet, and like, that's about it. I think I take Dig Through Time over the Signet. Do I? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Dig Through Time is good. We've got a couple of really powerful things going on. Oh, of course. So, I was gonna say, I'd like to have a draw card, but we got the Treasure Cruise too. I think we get the Badlands. We might actually open a red card that we want to play. Yet. Not a lot going on here. Guess I take Roast for the sideboard. Oh hey, Tendrils. I'm pretty happy picking up a Terminate here over Tendrils. Like, I could see playing Tendrils for, like, a smaller amount. I've got, like, a bunch of Signets. That might actually be kind of fun. Could play Cabal Ritual with it. What? We wield the Upheaval? My dream. It's real. Yeah, well, we'll play an Upheaval. Don't you worry. Oh man, I'm so excited now. I'll take a Disfigure for the board. Yes! Upheaval's great. Excuse me. I don't have any way to splash the fast bond, unfortunately. I have a Wood of Foothills. I can use these as a justification. Like, Wood of Foothills can fetch 3 things. 2 black sources and a green source. So, Upheaval's great. Return all permanents to their owner's hand. It's especially great when you have things like... We're gonna play that. Soul Ring and Signets to ramp it out, so that when you return a bunch of permanents to their owner's hand, you have some mana floating, and therefore you can Upheaval for more. I don't think I play these. So you can Upheaval and then just cast the cards from your hand again. We're gonna cut these, I think. Although it would be pretty funny to play, like, Upheaval and then Tendrils my opponent. I don't think it's realistic. Is True Name Nemesis any good in this deck? Is Frantic Search any good in this deck? I think Frantic Search is fine. We have got both Dig Through Time and Tassiger. Do we want Damnation main deck? Oh, the reason I cut these and I'm not planning on playing Fast Bond is because we have Sundering Titan, and playing just random dual lands with Sundering Titan seems like bad value. Although Fast Bond is really good with Upheaval. And we do have another way to splash it. We didn't get any equipment. I think I sideboard out this. And our win conditions can be like Tezzeret, Moldrifter, Tassiger, Dragonlord, and like Ugin. Plus these guys. Yeah, okay. So let's add some basics here. 8 and 8, sure. And we'll run it. I'll see you guys in round 1.